Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to the channel. You guys have a lot of questions.
Yes, lots of questions, and we asked you in our community tab to ask us some questions, and there was over 200 comments on that post. So we're only going to select a few, and we're going to answer those today.
Comments or questions?
Both. Also, a huge thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video. We're going to be cooking up an amazing salad halfway through this video, so be sure to stick around, especially if you have a hungry tummy. Okay, so the first question is, do you let your children listen to music? And if your child was interested in playing a musical instrument, would you let them?
Yes and yes. So in Islam you have differing opinions regarding music. Whether you choose one side versus the other is completely okay. You should, however, understand the evidences and proofs on both sides before you make a decision. But if someone's going with what they choose to, alhamdulillah, there's no problem. So yes, our children do listen to music occasionally. It's not a religious thing. We don't do it all the time. And in terms of instruments, yeah, if they're inclined to, unfortunately or fortunately, I never was, so...
They do. Amina did ask for a piano last Eid, so we got her that, and she played it a couple times and then kind of lost interest.
Till they figured out they can make like spooky sounds with the keys.
Yeah, so it's kind of just like a fun activity for them, but I don't think they would ever take it seriously,
sure.
At least not right now.
Yep.
Here's a question. How do you keep your home clean even after working and homeschooling your children?
Clean it.
So we actually, our house gets cluttered just like every other house out there. If you have kids, then you know what that's like. You cannot live in a house without clutter. However, we try to keep it as clean as possible. So like we have a set few things that we do every single day. Like
We
every
sweep,
morning.
we mop, we do the dishes, we
Clean the
put away
couches.
toys, we vacuum.
Yeah.
It's typical stuff.
Yeah, and then probably like once or twice a week, we'll kind of do the deep clean where we do like the vacuuming of every single room really, really well. And then like decluttering all the not counters, like dressers and laundry and all that kind of stuff. But
It's like anything. The more you leave it, the worse it's going to be.
Yeah.
So stay on it, stay on your toes. I know it sucks, but
yeah,
that's how we do it.
that's right. Okay, so here's a good question. What is the best parenting advice that you have ever received?
None. Nobody, honestly,
I feel like we never really took any parenting advice from people. I've definitely listened to a lot of like parenting videos and like taken bits and pieces of things that we like
But
to
in
do.
terms of someone saying, like, if I could give you one piece of advice for being a parent, it's this.
Yeah. But if we had to give you guys a piece of parenting advice, what would that be?
I would say recognize and understand that your children are very small for a very short period of time. There is no rhyme or reason why they should be forced to grow up sooner than they actually should. Yeah. Allow children to be children. Let them do the things that children would normally do in the real world, and separate them from the desire to grow up way faster than they need to.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for me, I think I would say, like, be your children's best friend. And just like snuggle them and kiss them and hold them and talk to them and just like be as close as possible with your kids. They're not going to be kids for very long. Like,
and you're going to look back with regret if you didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you had every single moment as them as children and loving you and all, you're still going to look back and regret that you didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
So especially if you force your kids to grow up faster than they should, you're really going to look back with a lot of regret.
Yeah, so like make each moment count. That's so important. Here's a good question. Salam, your little sister here. How do you intend to convince the girls to cover their hair at their age? Thank you.
Don't.
So I don't like the word that they use, which is convince. Like we would never have to convince our kids to do anything that they don't want to do.
Honestly, like our daughters would ask the question. They would say, how old do I have to be before I start wearing my hijab? All the time.
They do, but only because they have a genuine love for it.
No, that's what I mean, right? Is it's never been forced upon them. It's never been something that they deem to be a chore.
Yeah.
They do it because they love to do it, right? They see their mom doing it. They see that their friends are doing it. Their community is doing it. So it's not something that would take like convincing in order to get them to do it. Or
pushing or forcing, none of that. Like it'll be entirely up to them.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Islam is something that is not supposed to be forced on people. It's supposed to be a decision that you make.
From the heart.
Exactly. Anything that Allah has given you as a saying that you need to do this, You can do it, you can not do it, right?
Yeah.
But obviously with it comes reward. And, you know, it's something that obviously being very personal decision, that they're required to come up with it on their own and have a love for it. That way there is no force. It's just them doing something, being part of their faith and connected because they want to.
Organically. Like that's how it should be, is that they should just do it because they want to do it. Sorry guys, had to find a new battery and the light just disappeared, so.
Technical difficulties.
So here's a question. Do you only speak English to your kids or do you teach them your mother tongue as well? So.
I teach them my mother tongue.
Which is English.
Which is English.
We do speak in Urdu with them and they understand Urdu like completely. Whether they speak that back is questionable. I mean, they try, but it's work in
Especially the
progress.
older one, she conversates a lot more,
Yeah.
especially with her grandmother.
Yeah.
It's always like speaking in Urdu. It's pretty cute.
Yeah, super cute.
All right, guys, let's take a pause right here and let's check out this HelloFresh amazing, delicious recipe that we've got going on right now.
So if you've been to our channel before, you'll know how much we genuinely love HelloFresh meals and their delivery service. Their recipes are so delicious. If you have a jam-packed schedule like us, then HelloFresh has meals covered for you guys with a weekly selection of over 30 recipes and over 70 convenience items, and they're all delivered to your door. And let me tell you guys, I love exploring the HelloFresh menus that they have to offer. It's kind of like going to a restaurant and picking something new to eat. I just love exploring new things and getting out of our comfort zones, and I think that's really important for anybody that wants to try and eat healthy. I just love the fact that HelloFresh meals help us save time and money and stress, and just not having to worry about what we're going to be eating or what we're going to be cooking or what we should go grocery shopping for. It all comes perfectly packaged to our door with the recipes, with step-by-step instructions, and it works with your schedule. So their plans are actually flexible and you can change your meal preferences anytime. You can even change your delivery date and even change your address with just a few steps on their app. And of course, we are always trying to eat healthy in our house. So the nice thing about HelloFresh is that it helps us reach our goals. They offer a huge range of different like dietary restrictions, I guess you could say. They have veggie, they've got pescatarian, and fit and wholesome meals to make it easy to stick to your goals. And one of the biggest things that I love about HelloFresh in particular, and this is super important to our family, is the fact that they are the first carbon neutral meal kit company, and nearly all of their packaging is recyclable. So if you actually go back and scroll back to the beginning part of these clips, you'll see that everything came in a cardboard box and it's very minimal waste, which makes me super happy. So if you guys do want to try out HelloFresh for yourself, go to HelloFresh.com and use the code SALEH65 for 65% off, plus get free shipping. And if you want more information, all you have to do is open the description box under this video and we'll have all of those links and the code down below. And trust me, it's delicious.
Okay, so I have actually had a dish very similar to this before from HelloFresh because we eat HelloFresh all the time, and it was amazing. In the beginning, I was like, this is weird, like all these different veggies and textures, but it's absolutely delicious. So let's dig in. I'm not very graceful. The spices and the garlic and the crunch of the veggies and like the vinegar, it's just like, and then the avocado on top. It's so good. A+ from me.
All right, the moment of truth. I don't think I've ever had halloumi cheese. And if I have, it's never been like this. And there's a lot of stuff on this plate. So, let's just dig in. Let's try it. Bismillah. I said this on it before. The fragrance of this dish, it shouldn't look like this. It doesn't work. The smell is so overpowering, like, and delicious. You look at it and it's just like some vegetables. Strange, but delicious. Very much.
Hello everyone, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that awesome recipe, and be sure to try it out if you are in the mood for some awesome salad.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's just dive right back into these questions and answers. Someone said, what do you allow your kids for sports? So that's a good one because our kids are enrolled in a lot of sports.
It's whatever they want. Honestly, we have voting day, which was supposed to take place yesterday, but whether they want to continue with Taekwondo, it's their choice. Again, we are blessed in the fact that, again, we work from home. We have a lot of time with our children, so we aren't just putting them in activities to use up time while we're not able to be with them.
We're always with them.
Exactly. So for us, it's putting them in sports that they like, and that they'll actually benefit them.
Yeah. And so one of those sports in particular is gymnastics. Amina started when she was 3. Zainab started when she was like 2, pretty much. I think she was 2.
Yeah.
And they've consistently been doing that all these years, and that's probably their favorite sport.
Definitely.
They've also been in Taekwondo for a couple of years, but it's been kind of up and down with COVID. It's just
social distancing and masks, and they just kind of don't
hard.
really care so much for it.
Yeah.
So again, it would be anything that they want to do that is in accordance with, our beliefs.
Okay, so we had a lot of people ask us where we're from. I don't know if they're referring to like where we live or like where our nationality is from. Like I don't know. So
Austin, Texas.
that's so not true.
That's where I want to live.
That's not the question.
In my dreams, I'm living somewhere warm.
Okay, so we live in Toronto, Canada. Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and we are from Canada. Both of us are born and raised here. So.
Born in the West.
Yeah. So question, how do you encourage your kids to love Islam and develop their faith when living in a non-Muslim country? Like, do you find it difficult for them when people are celebrating Halloween and Christmas? This person said that they are also a revert. So
I think, honestly, I think as a revert myself, I find it easier because I've traveled extensively in Muslim countries. Countries that people may deem not to be safe, that they say, oh, why don't you just go back to one of those Muslim countries? Well, that was an amazing experience and never ever felt out of place or unsafe, even though I traveled in a lot of very sketchy places and sketchy neighborhoods. Alhamdulillah, I've never had that issue. But the point I'm trying to make is that in a Muslim country, you have a lot of not necessarily what the religion is teaching, but what the government is pushing onto the people.
Or culture.
Exactly. And
it's really hard to differentiate
it gets
between
washed
culture
out.
And like religion. Whereas like living here, like in a non-Muslim country, to be honest, like we don't really go out much. So like implementing our faith within the household is really easy. Like our kids see us praying every single day. We do Ramadan together. Like we're constantly...
We're obviously always fundraising. We're giving zakat and giving our sadaqah. So we have a much easier way of being able to teach our children, and then they don't go outside and then their Muslim classmates, for example, are like, well, no, you're wrong because this thing is this thing.
Yeah.
They don't really have that, right? So we understand the deen of Islam is how we teach our children, and that's what sticks with them. So it's not something that I find difficult. Yes, you have external things that will make it difficult, such as the holidays that we don't follow as Muslims. But our kids just have always understood it as that's not what we do.
Yeah. And so for us, like we've never done trick-or-treating. And the thing is like our kids are homeschooled. I think it would be a different story if they were in the public school and like that's all they talk about during that month. So for them, it's like they're only ever exposed to Halloween. Like if we go to the mall and they see like costumes up or pumpkins.
We buy costumes.
Yeah, and they just like ask questions and we just answer those questions and then that's it. They just know that it's just not one of our holidays. They know that we celebrate Eid and Ramadan and that's it. And they've never questioned it and it's easy. Okay, so this person says, what is your favorite thing to do with your girls in your free time?
Free time? With the girls?
We like to take them out.
Yeah.
Like we like to go out and do activities, whether it's like the trampoline park or the zoo.
Nature trails, bike riding.
Aquarium.
Hiking.
Mall, like whatever, just outdoor activities. Like we really enjoy doing. So someone said, my question is a silly one. There's no silly questions here. I know in the past you've said you've had all hair colors. Are you able to tell people your hair color even though you wear hijab? Or is it part of modesty and not divulging that kind of information?
Correct. It's absolutely part of it. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, actually instructed, that you shouldn't be telling people what someone else looks like. For example, like a woman who chooses to cover her face, it's like what right does she have to go above and beyond that person and say, oh, she looks like this?
Yeah.
It's just rude. I don't know.
Yeah, and in my personal opinion, it's private. I choose to cover my body. So that's something that only I want to see. So you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's something that I want to keep private, and I just personally don't divulge that information, and I don't feel like it's beneficial for anybody. Like how is it beneficial for people to know what color my hair is? It's not. It's literally just hair.
Yeah, and the fact that I'm not saying the person who asked
Yeah.
the question, but so many people they see it as like something. It's like it's a right. They should know. They should.
Yeah.
You know. It's like, dude, really?
It's just hair. It's literally just hair.
Literally just hair.
Yeah. Okay, so this person said, would you ever consider sending the girls to school, or
No.
do you plan to stick with homeschool
Yeah.
for all their education? I think we've talked about this in an actual video.
Yeah. Simple
In depth.
answer is no.
But yeah, we're not
No.
at that stage in life.
No, I wouldn't even send my kids to an Islamic school.
Yeah.
Because again, even Islamic schools are filled with culturalisms and dogmas and stuff that
And bullying.
yeah, it's like anywhere, right?
Yeah.
But you know, so for
Homeschooling
us,
works
so
for
long
us.
as we're able to do it, we will do it.
Yeah.
And if it comes later on down the road where we're not able to, so basically as soon as we get past multiplication and math, we're gonna have to step out. But we will, you know, if we have the ability to, definitely have, you know, private tutors for our kids and
Yeah.
give them the best of what we can.
Yeah, and the great thing about our life is we do work from home, and we do have a lifestyle where we are able to homeschool our kids, and it works great for us and our schedule. Plus, we really love the flexibility it gives us. So I don't think we would pass that up for anything.
No, it's like, why not, right? Like, imagine, like, for us, how boring life would be if our kids were at school for 8 hours a day.
Yeah, I know.
It would
We'd
be
be like,
like-
what would we do with our time?
I don't even know.
We would just like twiddle our thumbs.
Yeah.
It would be like dreadful.
All right, everyone. That about wraps up this short little Q&A segment. Again, a big shout out to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys so much for the overwhelming amount of comments, love, and support that you guys give us on the daily. If you did like this video, maybe if you would like us to do more of these type of videos, drop us a comment down below.
So thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Drop us a question down below if there's a question that's burning and you want us to answer. We do try to answer as many comments as we can, so you'll see us kind of conversating in there. So if you do want a response from us, definitely leave a comment down below, and we'll see you in our next video.
All right, guys. Bye for now. Assalamu alaikum.